Hey, child of God, today, right now, at this very moment, you're going to make a decision. You're going to decide to continue living your life the way you've been living it. Or you're going to decide to change where you're going to be a wealth-producing, people-blessing believer and not a debt-generating believer. Enough of that. I want to give you 7 keys so that you can stop being a debt-generating Christian. Number 1, develop spiritual resistance. You need to focus on scriptures that will help you with personal discipline and the ability to withstand temptation by just walking on by. Just like the song says, walk on by. 1, develop spiritual resistance. 2, practice praying about what you want before paying for what you want. You know, never make a buying decision, especially a major one, without praying about it, and if you're married, with your spouse. And not some kind of goofy prayer. I had somebody tell me one time that he prayed, said, Lord, if this is something you'd have me buy, let the salesperson tell me how much I'd enjoy it. Now, I want to tell you, that's just goofy. That's not the kind of prayer I'm talking about. Number 3, create a cooling off period. Create a cooling off period. If you see something that you want as opposed to need, put it on a list for at least 7 days. Longer is better. And at the end of 7 days, if you don't want it, then mark it off your list. But you need to create a cooling off period. You never need to buy something in the spur of the moment. Never do that. And let me just tell you this, any place that you ever go, you need to have a list. Whether it's a shopping center or a grocery store, you need to have a list and buy what's on that list. Number 4, avoid deals that you can't afford to pass up. If you don't need it, don't buy it. Because I can tell you this, you can go broke on buying things that was a deal too good to pass up. Unfortunately, there are a lot of believers that they've got a Saks Fifth Avenue appetite and a Walmart budget. So, if you just, again, walk on by. Number 5, don't have a habit of going to the mall. Don't put yourself in the midst of temptation if it's a problem for you. Luke chapter 22, verse 40, the Amplified Bible says, and when he came to the place, he said to them, pray that you may not at all enter into temptation. Again, have a list. You wouldn't send an alcoholic to a bar or a drug addict to a crack house. So if you have trouble buying stuff at the mall, going window shopping, don't go. And by the way, I've been in a lot of malls. I've never seen anybody buy a window. So don't be foolish. Don't be goofy. Number 6, stay out of online stores and avoid shopping channels. Shopping is too painless when you're surfing the internet or sitting there at home with that remote control, just clicking it in. It's painless, but I can tell you it can also be disastrous. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. Don't even turn to the channels. Well, Brother Harold, the deal's too good. No, let me tell you, that brings me to number 7. A deal is not a deal if you can't afford it. I don't care how good it is on a shopping channel or on an online store or in the mall. If you can't afford it, it's not a good deal. Now, what do I mean by that? When your credit card bill comes in, if you can't pay that purchase off in full, then you need to stay away from it because it's not the kind of deal that you need to have. Let me give you one last scripture. Proverbs 21:20 in the Living Bible says, the wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends everything he gets. I know you're wise. How do I know that? Because you're watching a Rich Thoughts video. And by that, I know that you have a desire to move away from being a debt-generating Christian into becoming a wealth-producing, people-blessing kind of believer. The kind that's above and not beneath the head and not the tail. Now that's what I call some rich thoughts.